Hey guys, good morning. Mestre Sukuri coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. I hope everyone is having a good day. We're doing things here. I got my cup of coffee, Capoeira Zoador mug. You know I love them. Today's topic that I want to talk to you first is I want to apologize. I've been incredibly busy the last few weeks. We're doing so many new things. Actually, my wife and I will be announcing later that we're going to be starting our first food truck, which will be starting in September. Somebody said they have food trucks, so our projects are getting bigger, and we're very lucky right now that we're able to do things and move forward. Okay, so today I want to talk to you guys about something I've been thinking about for the last few months. As many of you know, next month I'll be turning 50. 50. It's a big number for me, right? And in the process of this, and also as a process of thinking about the whole COVID experience and self-reflection, earlier in the week, I wrote an email to my students and talking about how I'm taking an opportunity right now to reflect on the last year and a half and where we're going to be going from here. And as a lot of you know, I'm constantly looking inward to see how I can improve myself, not only as a human being, but as a Mestre of Capoeira. So, hold on a second. I just forgot something. It's really hot and humid today, so I forgot to turn on the air conditioner. Okay, so this is going out to a lot of my students who are really doing an incredible job. And I'll get to why I'm saying they're doing an incredible job and why our Capoeira Zoador community is just blessed and fantastic and moving forward. So today's topic, what I really want to talk about is something that I really need to communicate so people understand where I'm coming from. And I hope this helps you to reflect on where you're going and how you're doing things, especially if you're doing a leadership role in anything. As I mentioned, when I was at graduate school here in Japan, I was able to take a lot of classes in the MBA program. And one of the most influential ones was leadership, right? It's a whole semester on leadership. Just leader, how to be a good leader, what is a leader, right? And when you finish the class, you realize the word leader, people think they know what it means, but they really don't. So I'm hoping today I can show you guys a little bit about what the word leadership means, a simple way to understand it, especially, and how we can apply it to what we do as Capoeira teachers or Capoeira group leaders or mestres and mestres of Capoeira. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the 5 levels of leadership. These are used in business, but a lot of times business is just the efficient goal of people management, right? You're trying to manage people to buy and pay for your services or a product. So I think this goes back to the beginning of humans and society. So in these 5 levels of leadership, I want to share with you guys, I'm hoping that we can also adapt them to stories within our lives and some simple ideas of how they work and relate to Capoeira, okay? So I'll be reading for you guys the definition. I found this on LinkedIn, and it's pretty good, okay? So 5 levels of leadership. How do they affect us in Capoeira, or me as a mestre? Level 1, position, okay? This is usually the lowest level of leadership and influence. Authority at this level is purely based on the position or post held by the leader. It requires no efforts or little ability to have. Okay, let's imagine you're a graduated student, a formado, a blue cordon formada, and people follow you because of your belt. Your belt signifies authority in some ways. So it gives the authority to say you know. But let's say you don't have a good personality and people have constant conflict with you personally. Then you're only being told because the power has been given to you. You haven't earned the power. So the first level is the level of power that you're given. For example, let's say in an academia, you've got 2 graduated students. One has been like a disciple. He's been there. He's helped other students grow. He's always there, or she's always there to give a helping hand. They're helping the master. They're helping, or behind the scenes. They have created a good repertoire. So the power they're being given is the power they've earned. Now the first level, the power isn't earned. It's just, for example, in Japan, we have senpai kohai, which is like senior and young. And most of the time, 99% of the time, this leads to a lot of power harassment. And what I mean by that is people using their power to say how to do things when they're useless. So it's just because of age, because of maybe your father or mother owns the business, or because your dad or your mom is the mestre or mestra, that you have power in the group. This is the first level. So this is the one we want to get away from and understand if we're doing ourselves. So you need to ask yourself, is my leadership, is my power something I earned? I'm not talking about you getting your belt. I'm talking about earning respect, earning a following, earning confidence from people, okay? So level 1, power by position. Now, level 2, we call permission. And in this one, when it comes to the second level, what matters most is the relationship. What sort of relationship do you have with the people that you are leading? At this level, it is the people who choose to follow you. They follow you because they want to follow you, not because they have to or because you told them to. So now we're talking about the second one, the more positive one from the first one. In the first one, people follow you because they have to. Maybe you're a manager, but you're not a good one. And just because if they don't follow you, they're going to get reprimanded or fired. Not from respect. In the second one, people are recognizing that you're leading and they give you permission to lead them, right? For example, let's say you're a graduated student again. And now let's say you got 8 years of capoeira. Now there's a person who has 5 years of capoeira who at this time starts to really come closer to, the gap narrows. Quality, technical, they've been practicing. And they see what you're doing in a positive way. So they feel that they can give you permission to lead them. They're the ones in capoeira who say, you come to them and they're doing something off or incorrect. And you say, hey, try this. And they go, oh man, okay. They listen to it. They might have a different opinion, but they listen to what you're saying. So they've given you permission to lead them, okay? In the third one, we call production. The best leaders are those who know how to motivate their people to get things done and achieve results. Achieving goals and targets is what the third level is all about. On this level, the leaders involved are able to produce the required results not only properly, but proficiently as well. The leaders build their credibility and influence, and people follow them, not just because they want to, but because the leader has proven track record. For example, I create a show team for an event. In the first one, I say to a professor, prepare the team, and people follow them because I have told them, I've given him that power or her. That's the first one. In the second one, people go, oh, this guy's working hard, this girl's working hard. Let's do our best to, I recognize they're doing their best and they're following. But in the third one, people are now starting to understand that this person's not only trying, but has a record of consistent results. For example, listening to that person's advice will improve your capoeira. Listening to that person's advice will avoid injury, avoid faux pas in the capoeira world. listening to that person's advice will help you not only to improve, but help you grow as a capoeirista. So this is the third type of leadership, right? And in this third type of leadership, we're recognizing people who have a track record. Maybe we're looking more at profesores, right? People who are graduated blue cordon or higher in our group. Excuse me. Group blue cordon or higher, and they're moving forward in life. They have a long track record of leadership that you can see. Go, oh, somebody comes and says, oh, if you have a question, go to that professor. If you have a question, go to that formada. Go ask them, because they will give you a good track record, and you know that they will give you good advice. Okay. Now, the fourth level, and the fourth level what we call is people development. And the fourth level can be entirely summed up in one word: reproduction. When it comes to this level, it's crucial to understand, identify, and develop as many leaders as you possibly can, and invest in them so that it helps them to grow. The reason for this line of reasoning is quite simple. The more leaders who are in existence in the organization, the more faster and easier it will be to accomplish the goals of the company or organization like a capoeira group. Even though the people who may decide to invest and develop may show great potential for leadership, or may be a diamonds in the rough, we talk about that as disciples and disciplas. Né? When you invest in them, they can reproduce yourself. So for example, if you're a good leader, you're leading your team, your group, just your small academia, whatever, if you can create and reproduce other people to do things the way you do in a good way, then you've created fourth level leaders, right? Right now, Professor Jacaré is with me here all the time, and someone I really feel who is a good example. I'm not saying only him, I'm just using him as an example. He is someone who I can identify as someone who is following the way I did things, learning from how I did things, but also gaining his own experience and understanding of the capoeira world, of teaching, of his own capoeira, okay? So here's what I like to talk about at this level, is where I feel a lot of capoeira groups lose students, right? We all know those profesores or contramestres or mestres that leave their group. And I think a lot of this has to do is because at this point, let's say in the first one, the level one, you're planting the seed. Level two, there's a sprout. Level three, here comes the stem. Level four, there's a bulb of the flower. Now, here is where the bulb needs to open and flourish. And to do that, it needs space. You can't hold your hands on top of the bulb and expect it to grow. So at this level, I really feel a lot of people leave their capoeira groups or become dissatisfied, disenfranchised with their groups or their instructors because they're not given space. So it's important as a leader, especially at the top of your group, to understand to give space. And yes, people are gonna make mistakes. Yes, people are gonna disagree with you. But if you built the good leadership qualities, you can always talk about it. You can always talk about it. So these things take time, and it takes time to build a level 4. But this is the crucial point, because if you don't do it right, they're not gonna grow. All right? So level 4. Now, level 5, I think for me is more relevant because I'm at 50. I'd love to be able to play capoeira for another 100 years. I'd love to be around doing what I do for another 100 years. This week, I'm nursing a shoulder pull, so I'm going slow so I can be ready for batizado. But I have to be relevant also thinking about the future. So, what is leadership level 5? It's the pinnacle. It's the top one, the little point on the triangle. The 5th and final level of leadership is the pinnacle level. Just like the summit of a mountain, it is the most challenging part to reach, but simultaneously, it is the most rewarding. It requires longevity as well as intentionality. Once you reach this level, you are solely committed to investing your life into the development of others for the long haul. It is not about you, it's about them, right? It's not about you, it's about them. They are simply able to create opportunities for others that simply cannot or would not have had without that. As a result of this commitment and services, the other 5 level leaders are more often not in this position. So they don't transcend this position. So here's why I feel I'm at this level. 1, my business is solid. I'm lucky that things are working out for me. I'm a happily married man, and that's very important in an art where there's so much dysfunction in how things are done. We've seen all like what's going on in the capoeira world. Personally, I've met a lot of friends who have been divorced, who and we talk about that in Portuguese a lot too, within the Portuguese-speaking community of capoeira, especially the Mestre level, how important it is to have, if you're married or a life partner, whatever, but a healthy, stable relationship makes you look also stable, like it or not. You can say whatever you want. Especially if you're teaching kids, doesn't matter what your orientation is, but stability of a relationship does help. And for me, that's very important. And at this point of level 5, I'm creating space and opportunity and material. For example, I mentioned now we have 11 Capoeira Zoador proficiency certificates. Okay? Music, ladainhas, singing, puxada de rede, maculelê, dança afro, percussion, many, many more. Whether the person uses all this information is not as important as getting the base of the information. I've been in college, 4 years undergrad, 2 master's degrees, that's 9 years of higher education. Do I use every single part? No. But it does build a certain understanding and base in thinking, okay? And in the leadership role, one thing I'm thinking about now is, right, as I mentioned, I'd love to do capoeira for 100 more years, but I might not have that chance. If I'm lucky, I'll have a good 15 to 20 years still playing capoeira. Maybe when I'm 70, it'll be the new 50, who knows? But I am consciously, from this year, consciously means I am recognizing, I am rationalizing, and I am preparing over the next 10 years, people to take over not only my capoeira group, but also someone to do a leadership role in my business, right? With the restaurant and the food truck, and we're growing and we're doing more stuff. So I am actively thinking, I'm preparing people for future leadership roles. This is the most important thing. This is why we have so many ego problems and unclear and lack of clarity in the capoeira world, because we're not clear in our goals or in our awareness. So for example, I would ask other mestres and mestras, are you consciously aware that you need to prepare somebody to take over for you in the future? I'm curious, how many people are thinking, let's say you ran a capoeira gym for 20 years in the States. Are you ready? Are you preparing someone to take over in 10 years? Do you still want to be running around like a mom and pop doing your academia in 10 years? Or are you preparing for growth? And are you preparing people to grow in a healthy and positive way? Are you creating leaders? Are you creating a legacy? Are you creating something that will continue way after you're done? I am. I'm consciously aware. I'm aware I have to do it. Okay, guys, so much is going on. Trying to get a lot done. I know this video was a little long. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what I'm doing, as always, I'm on Patreon. If you sign up for Patreon, we'll send you a nice little gift. So make sure you put your email in there. Have a beautiful day. Let's produce some great leaders.